Center court in Toronto is packed, and the air is thick with the sound of Philippine flags snapping in the wind and thousands of voices chanting one name. But something is wrong. The footwork that has made her one of the most thrilling players on tour looks a beat slow. The shots that were kissing the lines all week are sailing wide. And when the last point falls, the scoreboard tells a story nobody in that crowd wanted to read. Bencic wins it, 6-4, 6-love. An 8-match winning streak, gone in an afternoon. And now, in a quiet press room, Alex Eala finally tells the truth about what happened to her body out there. Stick around, because this story is about more than one lost match. Eala's run to the round of 16 at the National Bank Open felt like something out of a movie. She had just claimed her first WTA title in Washington, toppling world number 3 Jessica Pegula in the final, and she rolled into Toronto riding 7 straight wins and a career-best ranking inside the top 20. This year alone, she had already knocked off 3 Grand Slam champions and an Olympic gold medalist. She wasn't just winning matches, she was playing the best tennis of her young life. In Toronto, the Filipino community turned Sobeys Stadium into something that felt like home. Tournament organizers said her matches pushed ticket sales past 5,000, enough that officials moved her onto center court to fit the crowd. Every match brought a wave of flags and chants, and Eala later admitted the atmosphere changed her. After beating Katie McNally, she said a fan in the stands told her they wanted to be Filipino for one night. That moment stayed with her. She wasn't just competing anymore, she was carrying a nation's hopes onto the court with her. That win over McNally, though, was where everything started to unravel. In the second set, Eala rolled her right ankle badly after landing awkwardly on a forehand. She took a medical timeout, had the joint taped up tight, and somehow walked back out and finished the job, closing out the third set 6-4. It looked like grit. It looked like a warrior refusing to quit. But it was also the beginning of the end of her tournament, even if nobody knew it yet. Afterward, Eala tried to wave off any concern. She told reporters there was nothing seriously wrong, that the scare had been frightening in the moment, but she'd be fine. She talked about having a strong team behind her, about high hopes for the rest of the week. But the schedule told a different story. Between the rain-delayed Washington final that bled into 2 days, a singles match against Alicia Parks, a doubles outing alongside Venus Williams, and then the physical battle against McNally, Eala had played 5 times in 6 days. She admitted afterward that she was as exhausted as she had ever been. An unhealed ankle stacked on top of that kind of fatigue was a dangerous combination heading into her next opponent. The night before facing Bencic, Eala still sounded hopeful, saying she was excited to reset and start fresh. But the tape had come off and the pain hadn't gone anywhere. Her team worked with whatever window of time they had, but there's only so much treatment can undo in 24 hours. Her movement was compromised walking into a match against one of the most dangerous players on tour, and that gap would prove costly. Bencic wasn't just any opponent. The Swiss veteran, an Olympic gold medalist from Tokyo and a former world number 4, had actually won this same tournament back in 2015 as an 18-year-old, beating 4 top 10 players along the way, Serena Williams included. She had also built a reputation for handling left-handed players especially well, having not dropped a match to a lefty since 2024. Eala was walking into a buzzsaw on one good leg. The first set was closer than the scoreline suggests. Both players held serve early, trading long physical rallies, and Eala was searching for rhythm despite the ankle nagging at her. Bencic surged ahead 4-2, but Eala clawed back to level things at 4-all, and the crowd roared like the comeback was already happening. Then Bencic simply raised her game, broke serve to go up 5-4, and served out the set 6-4. The second set told a harder truth. Eala looked spent. Her movement had shrunk, her shots had lost their snap, and Bencic pounced on every opening, spraying the court with variety and never letting up. Eala couldn't hold serve, the unforced errors piled up, and the set slipped away 6-love in barely half an hour. The streak was over. The magic run had hit a wall. In the press conference afterward, the smile that had defined her whole week was gone, replaced by something closer to exhaustion and disappointment. When asked what happened, she didn't hide behind excuses. She said plainly that the ankle from the McNally match had never fully healed, and that it had limited how she moved and how she struck the ball. She'd been getting treatment in between rounds, but it simply wasn't enough to erase what her body had been through. She called it a match that could have gone either way on a healthy day, but admitted she just couldn't find her rhythm this time. She gave Bencic credit for playing well, but she was honest that the injury had shaped the outcome long before the final point. There's something both painful and admirable about that kind of honesty. Eala didn't retire from the match. She didn't hide behind vague injury talk. She fought every point on a leg that wasn't right, gave the crowd everything she had left, and only afterward told the full story. The fans who filled that stadium forgot to watch a fighter, even in defeat. Zooming out, this loss doesn't erase what Eala built in Toronto. She filled a stadium, united a community thousands of miles from home, and drew praise from legends like Martina Navratilova and Andre Agassi along the way. She proved, injury and all, that she belongs among the best players on the planet. One bad step on a tennis court can undo weeks of momentum in an instant, and that's exactly what happened here. But Alex Eala is only 21. She's already accomplished more than most players manage in an entire career, and she's sitting at a career-high ranking with wins over Grand Slam champions and Olympic medalists on her resume. Cincinnati is next, and the US Open isn't far behind. This defeat stings, but it isn't the end of the story. It's a chapter in one still being written. She walked off that court beaten, exhausted, and honest, with her head held high, and that's exactly the kind of competitor who comes back stronger. The tennis world is watching, and Alex Eala is far from finished.